Hey, y'all. Sorry in advance, my voice is really rough. For my final reflection for the Strategic Competence Stipend Series, the first question was, did I think I accomplished my goals? And I think I did in a lot of ways. In the past, I felt that when I pose purposeful questions that I don't allow the students enough time to reflect and actually form meaningful thoughts and how they are going to respond to those questions. I always jump in and try to save them. So I really worked during this series on posing those questions to them and then letting them think about it and formulate their answers. And I think as we went through these series and the different videos that I did, that I definitely did a better job of this as far as meeting my goals. I think something that I could have done differently is to present the content to them beforehand, before I'd actually even taught the content, and let them see if they could figure out what needed to be done and how to solve the problem before they'd ever even been taught the lesson. And I think allowing them to experience productive struggle is one way that they really learn, by not knowing everything, making mistakes, and not necessarily having the steps to follow, but actually building on their previous knowledge that they have in order to learn new content and to tie it all together. I know that my video submissions definitely evolved from the first to the last video. The first one that I did, I just had a tripod set up in my room with the iPad on it, and it more focused on the content that I taught on the board rather than focusing on what the kids were doing and the thought processes that they were having as we worked through it. I didn't focus on what they were doing on their whiteboards or how well they were following the steps, or at that time, I don't even think in the first one that I was posing purposeful questions. And I think in the second video, I did a lot better job of that, where I was able to go around to the different students individually and to see how they were doing, to kind of follow their thought process as far as what they were doing to show their work and the steps to solve the problems. And then where there was errors, or even not errors, but I was able to ask those questions that allow them to justify their thinking and why things do things in a graph. What makes a quadratic open up or down? What makes it shift left to the right? What makes it get wider or narrower? And so I think where they were actually able to have those hands-on things, like without me telling them specific criteria for that, I think they were able to recognize in the problems the key characteristics that would make those functions do what they did. I definitely feel like this series has affected my teaching in a good way, because I see my weakness as far as always trying to bail them out or give them, step by step the answers or the steps in order to be able to solve it. And I think that it allowed for deeper thinking on their part, and it allowed them to connect deeper with the content. It definitely affected the students because it was more concrete knowledge for them based on those questions and the interaction that they had with the content, which I think was awesome. Next steps that I'll do to continue growing is, I think, to really embed these key factors in my lessons and in my classroom at the beginning of next year, so that the kids are introduced that from the start, and then it's allowing them setting the expectations that I expect them to be able to think for themselves and to actually engage with the content. So overall, I'm very happy with this stipend series and look forward to the next one. Thanks for all you've done.